All right. Hey, coaches, Opt for Change. It is Monday night. It is April 3rd. My name is Dee Corchin, and I am thrilled to be with you here on Team Time. We come together every Monday night to learn together, to grow together, and most importantly, to be in community together. And before we start and we launch into a new month, it is always what we love to do is to celebrate the month before. And you guys, it was so fun this past month to watch so many people achieving new ranks, new levels in their business, and also this 3% and 5% client support bonus. So y'all are blowing it up. You're going to see a few new things in this as well. We are also recognizing what we call the 5 and 1 Club, which meant is a great goal for all of us, is to not only be adding new clients, but for every 5 clients we add, to be adding a health coach as well. So that's called the 5 and 1 Club. So you'll see a recognition for that. Also, who had the most, sponsored the most, had the most clients, and also people that earn the ability to get a lead from Optavia, which means that you have a frontline volume of 6,000 or more. So hang on, I'm going to share this video. Super fun. So awesome. Big shout out to everyone on this team, whether you are a brand new coach here for the first time, kind of checking this out, checking us out, or experienced. Everybody is contributing to making a difference in this world. So thank you for that. And congrats to everybody who was highlighted. So we did our survey. Thanks to you guys for who saw it and had the time to fill it out, but really asking you, what do you want to learn about on these calls? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? Big feedback we heard was that you want to hear from some fresh voices, which we have for you tonight. But also sponsoring coaches is a big one. So we're going to accomplish both of those things tonight. So I'm going to turn it over first to Shauna and Frank, because I will tell you one thing: they added 3 new coaches last month, and somebody said, I want to know what Frank and Shauna are doing. So Shauna and I talked about some of the basics about the mindset and what it takes to really begin and be successful in the area of sponsoring, and then we're going to go from there. So you want to take it away, Shauna?
Sure. Thank you so much, Dean. Congratulations to everyone who was highlighted. So exciting. What I want you to do is pop in the chat tonight. What's been your biggest challenge in bringing on a coach? Is there an area that you struggle with, or that you think is hard? And don't be shy. There's nothing that's too big or small. to pop in. So whatever it is, whatever your area of struggle or challenge is, just pop it in the chat. And this is how we help each other and learn from each other, right? When we can share like this. So tonight we are going to kind of keep with that running 3C theme. That's hard to say 3C theme, right? Say that 5 times in a row. And the first C that we're going to talk about is clarity. And one of the things that Frank and I are going to do tonight is kind of bounce back and forth and share with you what these words mean to us and how we're using them. So I'm going to go first. And clarity for me means being very clear in my objective when I am looking at bringing on a new coach. I know what I'm offering. I'm confident in what I'm offering. And I'm usually pretty bold about what I'm offering when I'm talking to clients about coaching. And I start that right from the health assessment. On their weekly check-ins, I'm dripping coaching. And, I'm just being really clear in what coaching is all about. I don't try to hide it. I don't try to sugarcoat it. We've got an amazing opportunity, and we don't really need to sugarcoat it or try to soften it or anything. It's just a great opportunity. So clarity for me means being really clear on what I have to offer and being bold about it and helping my client to understand what we do. Frank, you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, so I think in the area of clarity, first of all, you got to be clear with yourself. That we've all heard Dan Bell say, if you don't have enough horses in the stall. So don't fool yourself when it comes to, converting clients into coaches. If you've got 5 clients, you're probably not going to get a coach, or you may get 1. All right. So you got to just have enough horses in the stall. So that, first of all, be clear and honest with yourself. You've got to have a lot of horses in the stall to get coaches. All right. Now, you could defy the odds. You can defy the numbers, certainly. And there's going to people be reaching out to you just to coach. So may not be a client. But really, the biggest, probably the number one lesson I learned when we're bringing on coaches or having a conversation with coaches is going back to the very simple statement that I've heard Dee say: find the hole in their canoe. Fix the hole in their canoe. And that really comes down to their why. And I'm constantly listening for red flags in their why when I'm talking to my client. And it could be the list is long. It could be they're not happy with their job, they're not happy with their schedule, they're too busy, they have no money, they want to stay accountable to their health. I mean, the list goes on. I could go for 20 minutes about what their why could be. And I was always great at diving deep into a client's why. And it just really just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks one day. Why am I not diving deep into a coach's why or a potential coach's why? And that's where I personally was missing the boat. I might find out a couple superficial things, but I dive deep into their why. So that's really being clear on why they would even look into coaching, those things there.
Love that. Thank you, Frank. So I hope that helps you with the clarity there. The next C is courage. And how many of us could use a little bit more courage? I mean, come on, right? Yeah. So the main thing here to remember is it's not about us. It really isn't. So we can kind of take that off the table, right? It doesn't have anything to do with us. It's not about us. It's about sharing this opportunity with our clients. It's about who you can share it with. It's about, whose life will be impacted, who needs this. And we have to step out with a little bit of courage and, digging into understanding why people need this. What are they looking for? Are you happy with your job when you're talking to your clients? You're kind of digging into, do you love what you do? If you don't, why don't you love what you do? And sometimes that's a little bold feeling to start asking people things like that. But people just live quiet lives of desperation a lot of times. And we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know how miserable they are or how happy they are. I mean, I've got clients who love their jobs and I've got clients who hate their jobs, and some fall in the middle somewhere. But this is an opportunity that you that in sharing it, you're going to find people that you just kind of prejudged and thought, well, they love their job, they wouldn't possibly be interested in this. And so, when you've got somebody like that, most of us tend to pull back, and we're like, well, we don't really want to offer it to them because it's a doctor, or, they've got this great job and they love their job. So why would they even want to hear about what I do? And so, when I was a new coach, I tended to pull back there and I didn't really offer it. But you know what? Frank works with a lot of surgeons, and they're just living lives of quiet desperation on a higher level than we are. So don't ever be afraid to offer this program to your clients, the coaching part of it, because you just never know who's going to step up and go, you know what? I've just been waiting on you to ask me that. And I've gotten referrals from the company that have been with other coaches, and for one reason or another, they're either not there anymore. So they went back to the company and asked for a new coach. And when I brought up coaching, they said, I can coach. Nobody ever talked to me about coaching before. So be courageous there and really, share this gift. Frank?
Yeah, 100%. As a coach, you should know what you have. You should know what you have in your hand, and nobody should rock your boat. All right. If you've been around this program for a while, you know that thousands and millions of people have lost weight and reversed certain medical conditions and reversed type 2 and come off high blood pressure medication and reduce the stress in their life and sleep better and come off sleep apnea and improve their relationships at home and at work and increase their finances and gotten out of debt. And moms have come home from jobs and been able to hang out with their babies, and and dads have come home from their job. Nobody, if you know these things, nobody rocks your boat. Nobody rocks your boat. Nobody can intimidate Shauna and I. So when we're talking about coaching, we're bold and we're courageous. And if it's not formed, great. But if it's formed, great. So I share coaching, or I mention coaching on my health assessment. And, you kind of go through the whole health assessment, and then you, I'm sure you're like me, you say, tell me just a little bit about yourself. And when I'm telling them just a little bit about myself, I say, basically I do two things now. I help people lose weight and obviously improve their health. And the second thing I do is I help people form their own health coaching business. I said, I used to work full-time in healthcare, and I've left full-time healthcare, and I'm, my wife and I, we're coaches. And so people reach out to me and say, can I do what you do? And I say, sure. You're not our employee. You don't work for us, but I'll train and support you if you have a desire to be your own health coach. And then I just move right along with my health assessment. So right there on the health assessment, I'm planting a seed. Hey, I've left my job. If you want to be a health coach, I'll train and support you. And then
Go ahead.
Oh, and then I'm always sharing it in bold, in our check-in calls and so forth. And yeah, we have physicians, we have attorneys, we have hospital CEOs, we have people that you wouldn't think, why would they step into health coaching, But everybody's got their own personal reason. When you find out their own personal reason, that's when they step into it. Thank you, Shauna.
And that's something we both do, both of us. Our styles are a little different in everything we do, but one of the things that we both do is on that health assessment, we are letting that person know that we're talking to, this is for you as well. You can coach this program as well. So the next C is curiosity. And, we ask a lot of questions on that health assessment, but you don't have to just stick with just the questions on the health assessment. There are basic things that you do need to be finding out, but dig a little deeper with your curiosity. And, it's kind of repetitive because I've mentioned this earlier, but I ask them, what do you do? Are you happy with what you do? And, who in your world needs this program? I know up front if they've got friends that need to lose weight. I know up front if they've got family that needs to lose weight. And I'm making all those notes on their health assessment. Day 1 through day 4 check-in calls, you're just, constantly dripping and asking, how are you doing? At week 1, I'm always, what are people saying? Are people noticing? And it's just such perfect opportunities for you to weave in there the coaching aspect of this program. Because what we know is coaching benefits everyone, right? There's not a single person who coaching wouldn't bring some form of benefit to their lives, either financially or just to hold themselves more accountable. So I'm always dripping all of those little phrases. I'm always talking about why I stepped into coaching, because you can always weave it into the conversation. But being really curious about what's going on in their life, where they're at in their thinking, how are you feeling? What are you thinking about yourself now that you look in the mirror? Wouldn't it be great if you could share that with other people? That's such a good feeling, isn't it? I mean, do you see how easy that is to just do that? And you're just planting seeds continually. Now, I don't mean to browbeat them to death with coaching, but if you do it in a conversational way, if you weave it in with just little snippets here and there, of why you love coaching, or wouldn't it be great if you could share this with your friends? And I want to tell you, if I have a client that says, hey, I've got a friend, who asked me about what I'm doing the other day, they always know that they can do a referral. That's an open door for me. But when they bring up the subject of them, they have a friend who's reached out to them, I'm going to say, oh, good. Are we going to coach them together? Are you ready to step into coaching yet? And sometimes they'll go, well, I hadn't really thought about that. And then I want to make sure I let them know it's never too early to step into coaching, and I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through it every step of the way. Because I think there's a big fear there of people that we're just going to say, okay, go coach them. And, I want my clients to know that I'm not going to do that to you. I always tell them I'm going to be there with you on every single call, every single follow-up, every day 1 through 4, every week check-in for your first 5 clients. We're going to make sure we get your first 5 clients under your belt. So just being curious, asking them questions is going to be key to you identifying coaches, right?
Yeah. Pretty much everything Shauna does. Obviously, I learned pretty much everything that Shauna does from Shauna, right? Living with my coach. So we do a lot of the same similar things, but there's one topic I did want to address, and that was time. Sometimes you'll have a lot of people say, well, I just don't have time. But first of all, I think clients need to understand, or potential coaches need to understand, that for most people, you step into coaching on a very limited part-time basis. I've had clients tell me, I don't want to leave my job. I love my job. Because I've never explained it clearly that you don't just leave your job and go into coaching, for at least for most people. You step into it at very part-time. But here's the question I almost always ask people when they tell me about time. And this is where you have to be bold and courageous. I say, Joe, you're very busy. You mind if I ask you a question? Can I be honest with you? Can I ask it? They say, sure. If nothing changes, are you going to have more time or less time in 5 years? And I stop. And they always say, I'm going to be just as busy in 5 years. And that's a perfect way for me to kind of segue into, well, we could address some of those. And then I find out why they want to be less busy. Their kids, whatever. So I always ask that question. And you can ask that same question with a lot of different things, right? It doesn't have to be time. Yeah. But if nothing changes, you're going to have more or less of whatever.
Good point. Thank you so much, Frank. So we're going to move really quickly, and I'm going to hand it back over to Dee. I hope that was helpful for y'all. Dee, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I think the big message is on just being really clear. Why do we offer it, right? And then the courage. One of my favorite quotes is Winston Churchill when he says, fear is a reaction, right? We're humans. Fear is normal. Courage is a decision. And all I know is I'm really glad that my coach offered this to me. And I will tell you, he was about a week into it. It couldn't have been more awkward. He was not polished. He did not have his act together. But he offered it to me and I was interested. Right. And so that one thing I want you to know is that Frank and Shauna didn't get to where they were. I didn't get to where I were because we were good at it right away. It's an involvement through it. So we've got several interviews we're going to kind of go through, but I wanted you to hear from Emily McPherson because she just had a new coach join her team. And it was really due to a shift in her energy from I've got to get coaches to looking at it differently. So I'm going to show this real quick. She's in the mountains and she wasn't sure that she would have internet. So give me 1 minute.
I'm out in the mountains today and I don't have much service, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to be on the Zoom later, but Dee asked me to kind of share a little bit about the last coach that I just added. She's awesome. And actually, it was after we had done the big push in January, and I felt like I was just kind of going a little bit crazy, asking everyone to, get on plan, and we've got this big promotion. And so in February, I was kind of feeling a little bit depleted in my business, like worn out, and like I was going to not maybe push people to coach or ask them or even really share with them about coaching, because I just felt like I was overdoing it so much, and I felt like I was losing the part of the business that excited me in the first place, which is helping people get healthy. So I sort of switched my focus to let me just support my clients well and try to get some people healthy and stop thinking about getting more coaches under me and all that stuff. So, or to partner with me. So once I did that, I was talking to a client. She was on day 8 of plan, and she called me and she was really excited to share with me that she had talked to some people at a spa that she goes to and that they may want to partner with me. And I was, of course, excited, and I was like, great, that sounds wonderful. I'm happy to call them. And then she said, and also, my brother's a doctor, and he may be interested in partnering with you too. And I thought, well, that's great. And then I just kind of said, or they could partner with you. And she got really excited, and she said, what do you mean? And I said, you could be a coach. And she got so excited that she could be a coach. And I just shared a little bit with her about how I feel about coaching and what it's done for me. And she got so excited. And so it sort of reminded me that we have a gift to offer people who want it. And not everybody wants it, but some people are looking for this in their life. And so just offering it to people as an option, I think, is really important, because this new coach is already doing so many amazing things, and she is so excited to help people, and she's so excited to possibly maybe one day, make this her full time. Hey guys, I'm out.
So don't you love that? It was a shift from I got to do this or I want it for me to just actually coaching people well and listening. And not everybody are they like excited, ecstatic the first time you ask them, but I think she's exactly right that there are people that it's the fit for them. So I want to let you guys meet a new coach on my team, Robin. And Robin and I met, she came in through an Optavia lead. So I'm going to have her share just for a bit, like her story. And then what did it feel like, Robin, when I first brought up the idea of coaching for you?
Okay, thanks, Dee. So my name is Robin, and I've been a client since I think the end of January, and then I became a coach, I think the end of February. So my transition here was a little quicker. But I came in straight off of the Optavia website. I went to place my own order. I was bound and determined I did not need a coach. I have coaches across many platforms in my life already. I have a personal trainer. I have a life coach. I have a nutritional coach. I have a bariatric person who I check in with. I had a person who I was doing mindfulness with. And I just had all these other people. And it's like, I cannot add another person to my pile coaching me, because I'm already like a information shopper. So if they tell me something I don't like, I ask the other person to see, if I can get a better answer. So it wouldn't let me place an order without having a coach. So of course I clicked the button, I placed my order, and it matched me with Dee, thankfully, because after speaking with Dee, we kind of had a couple connections. She kind of understood some of the things that I'd had going on previously. I was a bariatric patient 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago now, I guess about 2 years ago, but I'd had a complete stop with my weight loss and had been stuck for like more than a year since of my initial weight loss. And I knew that would happen, but I just needed something else. I'd tried promotional things at my gym. I tried working with my personal trainer, and, I don't think that I was all in. And he would always tell me mindfulness. And I'm like, if you tell me mindfulness one more time, I'm really going to slap you. It is not something I want to hear again. But I think that when I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to try Optavia. I'm going to try, I set out, we had a 90-day challenge at my gym. I'm like, I'm going to do this for 90 days and we'll see what happens. And so when they matched me with Dee and we talked, and I told her flat out, I said, I really was not excited about having another coach. I said, I want to try this for, I started with, I want to try this. And then I made the conscious decision to say, no, if I'm going to do this for 90 days, I'm going to be all in this time. So I made that conscious decision to be all in. So that's kind of how my program got started. But Dee probably asked me a couple of times about, you know, you want to be a coach? And I'm like, oh no, I'm too busy. I'm too busy, like Frank was just talking about. And then of course I had a friend who's like, hey, every time we're on the video at work on Zoom, you're like, you're getting all skinny, your face is shining, you've got this glow, what's going on? And I knew that I could give the referral to Dee, and she's like, what about just coaching her? And so I kind of thought about it a little bit. I watched the training that you guys had about becoming a coach, and how a lot of people like wait. And I decided I wasn't going to be one of those persons who waited. I decided that I was going to take the opportunity to be more accountable to my program, because I have quite a bit more to lose. And I also thought that it would be a great way, a little bit of income to help supplement my personal order. So even if it wasn't going to take care of the entire amount that my personal order is, if I could cut that in half, that would be good for me. So I have 2 clients now, and I'm working on a couple of other clients. And right now I have to use the courage model, because I really have not put myself out there yet on social media telling people that, yes, that I've become a coach. So that's my next step for my my fear section of the program. But
I love that.
Hopefully that's kind of the information you guys are seeking. So that's my story.
And what I knew with you, Robin, one, I loved her personality because she's fun, she's light, and but I knew she needed it for accountability. I knew that coaching was for the long term, something that would really serve her. So I brought it up numerous times. And so, and I know she's busy. She works full time. She's got some other side gigs, but I was impressed at how much she juggles. So that is important as you're talking to people, because her first couple of responses were no. She didn't even know she wanted me, to coach her. So, so that is awesome. Well, very good. Well, I got 2 more I want to talk to, because all the stories are a little bit different. But Vicki, I know that you have a very brand new coach who came on last week, Jamie, who came in from her vacation to speak with us. So you want to pop on for a second and share with us?
Yeah, you want me to share first?
Yeah, just real quick, what did you see in Jamie, and why did you want to offer to her?
Yeah, so Jamie was actually a client previously of one of my coaches who's no longer coaching, and she kind of segued back with me a few months ago. And first of all, she has friends in every place. She's got just pockets of friends all over the place. She actually has some friends who are coaches, not in our organization, but in other organizations. And she dove right into her life book. She was doing all the things, and really, I just know, you can peg people that could do really well with this because of their compassion. So she was somebody I thought about in my, top few people, but, I'm always of the feeling of meeting people where they are. And she got that friend that she sees every day at work that, asked her what she was doing. So again, I said you can refer her, but we basically talked about what coaching would look like. And really, I think what I saw was that same thing, like we were talking about with Robin, is that accountability. So I don't know how it felt to Jamie. I know she was very much on the fence. Jamie, are you on? I see you.
Yeah,
I know you're at the beach. So anyway, I know it was a debate for you. I know you were like, it was like a teeter-totter. Do I, don't I? So I'm not sure kind of what finally triggered let's do this.
Kind of what I've heard other people saying, that I'm busy or I've got things going on, but it was that push of that Vicki kind of talked about, was she's going to come to you anyways. You know, when you have somebody who is looking to start the program or is looking to make some changes in their lives, they're going to go to the person that they're comfortable with and that they have a relationship with. And so I think that that's what ultimately got me to kind of bite the bullet. Was, I'm not sure this is like for me. Am I really the person? I'm not out there. I don't really kind of talk about myself, but in actuality, she is going to come to me all the time. And so I figured that this is the perfect client to maybe start with and figure out, you know, Vicki, you know, talked about the accountability piece with me as well, as I'm starting this journey to have somebody that's doing it along with other friends that I know that are coaches, that like it's a community of people of support that can also help keep you motivated to make those choices and to make those life decisions that are, you know, going to be the healthier ones for you, surrounding yourself with people that are making those choices as well. So it just kind of naturally, that fear was there, but I felt like it was the right first person, and kind of take it slowly and get to see what's out there and learn as I'm doing it alongside her. So that's kind of what kind of prompted me to take that leap.
That is so good. Thank you, Vicki and Jamie. And thanks for taking time out of your trip to do that, to be here with us, and welcome to the team. Great that, right? They both pushed through fear and shared with, you know, almost 50 of us on that here about their journeys. So we've got another story, which we're going to do next week, because I definitely want everybody to be able to jump over to the client community call. But I just want to share with you something fun. And if you haven't seen my post yet, for the longest time, I was very nervous about sponsoring. I was like, people came here to lose weight. Like, it just feels weird to offer them to coach. Like, I had every concept, every fear, every self-limiting belief there is. But and I felt like I had no direction on what to do with a coach when they came on. But I just decided at some point, like, this has radically changed my life. Somebody had courage to invite me. I knew I wanted to, once I decided I wanted to grow this business, that was part of it. And I realized, okay, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to push through fear. I will tell you, what I do now as a business leader is really no different than what I did when I had just clients. It's just that it all has just evolved, what my responsibilities are, right? So it was just a continual willingness to learn. But what I'm super proud of, you guys, and I forgot to check what my individual number is on how many people we have served, but as a team, by saying yes and other people saying yes and inviting, we have helped 21,315 people together. 21,315 people. So that is the power of pushing through fear, working with people. And it was only when I switched it from I need to get coaches to actually slowing down and finding out, how does this fit and help somebody else? And as like Robin said, working with her on her pace for adding to the team. So we will build on this conversation. Thank you to everyone who participated, to Frank, to Shauna, to Robin, and to Jamie and Vicki. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to hear from Lori and Julie next time, hopefully. So see you over on the community call. Bye-bye.